Welcome on into the Wild Willie podcast, and I have my brother from another, the grand selector, the best music producer the world has ever seen. The DJ, the lyricist, the rapper, the producer, all of the above, somebody who I have an immense amount of respect for.
Thank you, sir.
The legendary, the GOAT, Pete Rock. What's up, my brother? Welcome to the Wild Willie podcast show.
Man, thank you, bro. I've been waiting to get on here, you know?
Listen, it's weird. One, because I'm a fan of you, and I told JJ that me and you have an interesting story, and I want to tell the story. Okay. And the story starts like this. Let me just label it. DJ Pete Rock DJ'd my wedding.
It was so ill. It was so fun.
It was ill. Not only is he from Money Earned in Mount Vernon, a true rude boy, somebody that definitely embodies the essence of New York, but he is really a homegrown, down home brother. And I happen to be in Chicago one weekend. I'm having a hell of a time. So I go to the Cubs game with one of my homeboys. His name is Delonte. If you've never been to Chicago, it's riddled with bars. It's bars galore. So I go paint the town. Me and Tay, we drink from the game all the way up until midnight, right? And so we're going after it. So, and it's roughly around 2:00 in the morning, and I'm standing outside this club. It's called the Piedmont, right? And this young light-skinned girl is standing in front of the door, and I'm literally right next to my buddy Tay, and he goes, "Bro, can we please go home?" He's like, "I'm done, dog. Like, I got nothing, dog. Like, please." I'm like, "No, we're not going home." The young lady sees us talking, and she goes on to say, "Hey, won't you come in?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't know about that." She goes, "We're filling up quick. You should come in." I'm like, "Nah, we'll figure it out." Her next sentence is, "Well, we got DJ Pete Rock performing." And I'm like, got me, right? But so this is the catcher. She goes, "We're out of tables. You waited too long." And she goes, "And all I can do for you is offer you a bottle of vodka, and we post you up at the bar." I'm like, "Bet." I look at my boy Tay, and he goes, "No, I told you I'm done." He's like, "Bro,
ain't got no energy for Pete Rock."
Bro, he's like, "I'm done. We've been out since 12 in the afternoon. It's the next day." He's like, "I'm too old for this shit." I'm like, "Shut up, be a man." We're going inside. We go inside. We at the bar. Pete, you go on to put on one of the illest sets I've ever heard with my black ears, right?
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Dominated, right? And then what's so ill about it, you brought out CL, who I didn't expect, right? And y'all did your thing.
Yeah.
And I remember being fired up. It's like 4:00 in the morning. I walk to the stage, and I don't know if it's Chris, your manager right now, or some brother. Yeah. But I'm like, "Hey, I'm like, hey, dude." I was like, "Hey, I didn't talk to Pete Rock." And the brother
drunk,
fired up.
Oh my God!
So the brother goes on. He goes, "Who are you?" Right? So I could know he's from New York, because only New York can say, "Who are you?" He goes, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm Willie Cologne. I play for the Steelers and the Jets, and I gotta have DJ Pete Rock DJ my wedding." He's like, "Okay." He looked at me, and I'm like, "Nah." I was like, and so I go on to like a 2-minute speech. I'm like, "Why you should DJ my wedding?" So the dude was like, "Man, hold on." He goes, "Well, here's his number. If you for real about it, hit him up." Sure enough, I have my people hit your people, and win. And this is why music is so, it's awesome, because it builds a bridge, and it also creates worlds. We're both from the Bronx, the birthplace of hip hop. I get married in Jackson, Mississippi. At the Jackson Country Club, and JJ can attest to this.
Much fun.
At the back in the day, the Jackson Country Club didn't allow our kind.
Nope.
Like meaning black folks at all. To have DJ Pete Rock DJ in Jackson, Mississippi at my wedding, and Mississippi, which is known for the blues, hip hop blues, Jackson, Mississippi, to finish the night out with DJ Pete Rock is one of the most iconic moments of my life. And
was there a lot of people from New York at your wedding?
We had everybody. They have never.
I was rocking it.
Yeah, I was rocking. You was killing. So I just want to say, man, that's how I was able to get DJ Pete Rock, the iconic DJ Pete Rock, in my wedding. And what's wild about it, man, people don't remember me saying I do, But they do remember Pete Rock being there.
So you're trying
That's
to
crazy.
tell
That's
me
crazy.
that you got
That's
done
crazy.
about Pete Rock to the Jackson Country Club where
Oh my
all
God.
the white folks at. All the white sit there and walk down the street with the dog and everything, and you got all of us pulling up at the country club, Big Willie. I know they got done. It was out on the watch, got done the neighborhood watch that day.
They got a taste of black that night.
I want to get right into the current state of you, man. You have a joint project with Common out right now, the Auditorium Volume 1.
Yes.
Why did this take so long? Why did this masterpiece take so long? What inspired you to do this with Common?
Well, I mean, we're both kind of in the mix with, staying busy and stuff. So, me and Common been friends since like 90, 1990. And, sometimes in our lives, we go different paths. He's an actor. I'm just where I'm supposed to be, in the studio a lot, moving around on tour, stuff like that. And we just decided to get together one day, and he heard some of my beats recently, some recent beats, and through a friend of mine, well, both of our friends, his name is Kareem Riggins, and he played him some of my beats, and Common was like, "Yo, let's get in touch with Pete," and then from there, that was it. From there, we just went forward, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You guys both have beautiful music minds. Both have done amazing things within your career.
Thank you.
How competitive did you guys get with making this project?
You know what? We kind of didn't really think about competition. We kind of just went in there and did what we wanted to do. And, something like with us, guys from the 90s, the talent is so natural. It's just like, we don't put those things in mind when we're making music. Sometimes we just making it, and then it just comes out to sound competitive, but we really just doing what we love. You know what I'm saying? And Common, he's different on this album. He just sounds different. His whole energy is different. And with the beats, I just kind of mixed in today's sound with my sound, with what I be doing, and that's what you hear on the Auditorium.
That'll work. So when you coming up with them beats like that, and I used to have an artist back up in the day, we was trying to get to the point where y'all was at, but the boy was so hot, man. I'm talking about, man. Matter of fact, when Pimp C heard him, we went down and got Pimp C up on the song. And when Pimp C,
that's my guy,
yes sir, and we went down to Port Arthur, Texas, and Pimp C was like, man, matter of fact, his name is Big A, and they invited us to the crib, everything. He told his mom, he said, man, I ain't never heard no artist rap like this boy right here. And they was getting ready to give him his distribution deal. And he was going to be like one of the ones that he signed, to his distribution deal. But unfortunately, things happen. It didn't, you know what happened.
Pimp was one of the nicest artists I've ever met. He showed me so much respect, man. And rest in peace to Pimp C, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Shout out to Bun B too.
Yes, sir. That was my guy, and that's what they was doing. Billing like beats, to the sound of it, the voice and everything, and has it ever got to a difficult point to where you get some artists that's off the chain, and one thing about my artist, his voice was hard, so that the beat had to match his goddamn voice. So I mean, because if the beat wasn't as hard as his voice, it wasn't gonna work. Have you ever got to the point like that where that voice just so demanding and so strong?
Well, for me, I play with the voice. Like when I'm making music, it's all about who's gonna rap on it. It's all about whose voice sounds best over this beat. So that's one of the things I do. So I'm kind of like matching whoever the artist is to the music that I make, and that's how I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been matching to make my music make sense with who this artist is. You feel what I'm saying? That's one of the things I love doing is that right there.
Like
It's
the challenge.
myself. Yes, challenging myself to work with different people.
I want to stay there, man, because when I listened to the album, 3 tracks just I think spoke to me only because I'm a '90s baby, and I grew up listening to UNCL. You know, when the Mecca and the Soul Brother came out in '92, that was like, forget about it. You know, I was I was a baby. I shouldn't have been listening.
That's all good, bro.
But it was, I was from the South Bronx, and it was just around me. So I grew accustomed to listen to it. But I want to say this: 3 tracks that stuck out to me. Wise Up, just it makes me feel like that's Bronx. I feel it when I hear it. I know it. That's the Bronx talking.
Man, that's all New York right there. That's crazy.
All kind of ideas.
Yes.
Got me in my tracks.
Yes.
And everything's so grand.
Wow.
I like to say is one thing, like
that's one of my favorites right there.
Well, that's where I'm going. The reason that's one of my favorites is because it feels like at the end of a work week, you sipping on something, you're turning off the world, and you let that go.
And you letting it chill.
And that's what it did to me. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, this is a Friday, end of the work, pour yourself some yak, smoke some, and just turn off the world.
And chill, bro.
Chill. And
that's
so
it.
I thought you and Common did a great job.
Thank you.
Blending minds, blending sounds. Obviously, your jazz, fusion, your makeup, like it blows through this album. Common did a great job of, and maybe it's just more a testament to you of just staying out the way. I think you guys it didn't feel like you guys, and I think that's why I kind of posed a competitive question.
Oh, we bumped heads doing this album. We definitely bumped heads.
Okay. See, that's what I was trying to get through, because I hear Common, but I feel you.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just a bias thing because I know you. So
well, he's great. He's an artsy type of dude. We had we butt heads on the album title and something. One of the songs called "A God There Is."
Yes, that's with Jennifer Hudson, right?
What was so sweet about it was like we're grown ups now. Like we grown. Like, so it's like, all right, maybe I'll see it his way, and he's probably like, you know what, maybe I'll see it Pete's way, and then we just come to a head and be like, yo, all right, let's go with the Auditorium. We'll do that.
So why the Auditorium, Pete?
I wanted to test out the title and say it on Wise Up. I kind of one of the records we did. I was saying it. I was saying it at the end of the joint, and he was like, "Well, if you didn't like the Auditorium, you're saying it on the song," because I was just trying to feel it out to see. And then I waited a few days and lived with it, and then came back and was like, "All right, let's do the Auditorium." And he was happy.
And that's that's one thing I noticed about a producing artist is one thing they're gonna do is organ. But you get that, you do, but people don't realize when y'all going in and stuff, and you got people on the outside looking in, they be like, man, they crazy, but they don't realize man, everything worked.
It's a grown up argument. It's like it's some grown up shit arguing going on. It's like, we don't do it when we was like younger, like used to be screaming at each other. It's like, well, I don't know, man. And then Common's like, well, I don't know, Pete. Well, I don't know, Common. And then we let it chill and simmer down for 2 days and then come back with a decision.
This seems like it was more of a spiritual project than anything else. I think you guys really kind of allowed yourselves to be vessels and let the music go through you. Do you agree with that?
That's exactly how it went down. That's exactly how it went down. And, we're both men of God. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a preacher or anything like that, but I do believe in a higher power. Right.
Sure, I'm a believer. So, we're both believers.
Yes, we and I believe plugging into that higher power when we're making a project that we want to be successful and we want everyone to love. So we asking for God's help too. You know what I mean?
And I know you probably get asked this a lot, but I want to kind of talk about your career and the current state of hip hop. This is going to be a blanket question, but I just answered how you choose. Yeah. What's your current thoughts on the state of hip hop?
Right now, I feel like the realer music is coming back. I feel like that's my job to really put that back out there. And I see that people from my time are actually dropping music, which is great. I feel like with the young, that drill stuff and all that, that's going away. Right. That ain't that to me. Not to be super judgmental on the youngins with that, but that music doesn't inspire. So you have to really change it up and do something that people are gonna love. Lyrically talk about something that people could grasp onto, because this is reality, man. This is life. And so I just incorporate what the youngins do, what I do together, because we all have to be together. Everything has to sound, and then everything can't sound the same. That's the most important thing that I hear going on with the young generation is that they don't differ from each other musically, on the sound tip. And so that's what we're here to do, to teach, versatility and making sure that each song you do is different from the one you just did.
That's
you feel me? Yeah. But the current state of hip hop, I feel like what was missing is coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like even the younger generation are starting to get it and understand. And I hear it now. I'm hearing them do different things with music now,
So the reason I think that is, Pete, because I think one thing I'm learning, especially in my old age, I'm 41. And what I'm learning
is young, boy. Whippersnapper.
Right. Yes. One thing I'm learning at this age is that black is not necessarily one color, that there's depths and range to it.
Of course.
And I think music is the same way. I think I think I'm seeing more kids who are into alternative music or into things that necessarily, because they don't necessarily come from where we come from. You have kids coming from where we come from, not listening to necessarily hip hop, but they're into different genres of music, and now it's all being expressed. And I think that's a good thing. That speaks more to wanting to be more versatile and authentic. Go ahead.
I think certain genres sound great together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if they're listening to new, like, alternative music or different kinds of music, it sounds better when you know how to incorporate it with hip hop music. You understand what I'm saying? Like rock hop, like that's rock music and hip hop. Like, there's even a way to do fly disco shit. You could even bring that back, but it could be done differently. You know what I'm saying? Than it was done in the 80s. Like, people are not thinking about these things. Right. Maybe I should shut up.
Right. You let them
before
into the kitchen.
Before somebody run and with my ideas.
Right. Somebody letting you letting people
all kind of ideas.
You talk about, you've been in the game for 25 years, man. You've seen it. You've worked with some amazing artists, iconic artists. Is there a project or someone you haven't worked with that you wish you had an opportunity to work with?
Yeah, Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Craig Mack. Black Rob, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about even this, certain deceased people. And there's people that are alive that I never, got to work with, like, 50 Cent. Who else? I mean, there's a lot of people, like, even I think what's his name is dope. Oh, Joey Badass.
Oh, I love Joey Badass.
Yeah, Joey, he been on my bucket list to work with. So and then these new guys that I like, that I'm hearing, and I got my own artist. His name is Amir, aka AMXXR, who we did a mixtape. If you want to download it, it's on SoundCloud. It's called 21 Grams, and it's free.
Dope. We gotta check out for him. Obviously, you and CL know more. You've been open and honest. It was great what we had. But I think from somebody who, like I said, reminisce over you, sold out, not creating a soul brother. You guys are arguably the best, or one of the best hip hop rap duos of all time.
Thank you, bro.
For everybody who listened to you and listened to him, and collectively listen to both you guys, what can you give me one word to describe your legacy?
Man, one word: magnificent.
I like that.
Yes.
Magnificent. Because I think back on that stuff, like with me and him, and like we really made special music. And for other people, we made special music. He rapped on "Rub You the Right Way" with Johnny Gill. You know what I'm saying? He's on the Alexander O'Neal remix. I did. He's on. We were doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Like in the R&B world, and then we just broke out and started doing our hip hop thing. And man, we made Reminisce, Straighten It Out, some of our key records, and our best record, I believe, is Troy, of course. Because everyone can relate to a song like that.
Just put it on, and people stop. I don't care where you at. You could be in the lobby of a state building. You could be on the street and on a bus stop. You can be in a classroom. That song drops. It sets the vibe for the song that's being played.
And even though we're not together, it's like, life doesn't stop for CL Smooth. Life doesn't stop for Pete Rock. There's still more to do, but he's just doing him and I'm just doing me, and that's it.
You don't give enough credit because you were on his project Twisted Dark Fantasy,
yes,
which I think is one of it goes up there and one of the best hip hop albums. I think so to have you a part of it, you don't get enough credit for your work you did on that.
I'm happy I was a part of that, and I was really like happy to hear Jay-Z rap over my beat finally. We never did nothing ever in life, and I heard him on The Joy, and I was just like, wow. Thank you, Kanye.
One thing we know about dope fiends, when they hit that first hit, they still taking they got darn high, and they never got darn find it. And I just had to say this as a producer for over 25 years. Is there a project or something you haven't accomplished that you would like to, and a sound you haven't experiment that you would like to do, that you still chasing, that you can feel, but you just ain't got it yet?
Well, God willing, I'm doing it right now.
Wow.
Work R&B project with someone. I don't want to say the person's name
yet. I thought we was gonna have an exclusive.
No, because I'm telling you, this if it goes down, this shit is gonna be ridiculous.
Y'all heard it.
It's gonna be ridiculous. Female singer.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, that's all I'm gonna say right there.
When Pete Rock got on, we instantly went at each other because if you don't know about Pete, he's all New York, born and raised in Mount Vernon, inspired by James Brown.
Yes, sir.
So rhythm and soul and beat just oozes through his blood.
That's right.
And out of him, rather. But one thing that oozes out of him is his passion for sports.
Yes.
Let's just get into it. Your Giants.
My New York is struggling right now, bro.
We all right. It's a good year for New York.
Yeah, it's just good news. It's better, but it could be better.
Well, Pete, I want to put you on the soapbox.
Okay.
You as a diehard Giants fan.
Yep.
What is wrong with the Giants in your eyes?
I think the GM, for one, not saying anything bad about him, but I'm saying nothing good about him. And I feel like if you believe in a guy like Daniel Jones over Tyrod, who's a starter, you have Tyrod come to play backup for a guy who plays like a backup, not a starter. That's in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I feel Tyrod should have been our starter.
I don't think people would push back on that. Listen, Daniel Jones won that one playoff game against Minnesota, got the contract, was banged up, got hurt, and it was just ugly from there. It has been awful.
But when we had Barkley, is the only time we went 6-1.
Yeah.
You guys should have never let go of Saquon Barkley. He was the heart and soul of the team. He was the face of the franchise, and time after time in the media told the world he didn't want to go.
He didn't want to leave.
He didn't want to leave. But they pushed him out the door, and listen, you got Malik Neighbors, and
that's dumb.
Now Saquon's on to have an All-Pro year, and he looks absolutely marvelous.
And he ran the Giants over.
Right, he looks marvelous.
I was happy. I was happy for him.
I think most people are. I think most people are happy for Saquon. Your Knicks. Talk about your Knicks.
Well, okay, nobody's happy about the Randall trade and losing DiVincenzo. I'm actually mad that Dante's not with us no more.
Sure.
But I'm gonna give it a chance, man. I believe in Cat. I like him. A lot of people,
the big bodega.
Yeah, but he's doing good.
I like that.
We needed that Pacers win though, because last year was just whack. We was all hurt and we couldn't go at them like we just did the other night.
Yankees tonight, 8 o'clock start. What did you think about Ice Cube coming out?
I heard him. I started to DM him. But me and DJ Pooh are going at it. Me and DJ Pooh, he's West Coast, dope producer. Me and him going back and forth. And it was funny about because I'm like, damn, the Dodgers, we could beat these dudes, man. We could beat these dudes, but that's the only person I'm rivaling with. But I'm up there. I'm gonna drop Ice Cube a DM.
If you was to have a pick an artist to set the stage out of New York, who would it be?
Jadakiss.
Okay.
Jadakiss.
Okay. They gave the ball. They gave it to Fat Joe, to my understanding.
I mean, he's the Bronx.
He's the Bronx, so they got to give it to the Don.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. That's warranted. You know what I'm saying? But as far as I'm just thinking of like dope MCs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Last out of me, DJ Clark Kent is no longer with us. I know he was close to you. You guys were close. Let's just leave it at that. I wanted to give you the platform to say some words on him.
I've known him since I was 13 years old. I mean, I was introduced to all the New York clubs from a youngin' because I used to DJ with Marley Marl at a young age since I was like 13 on the radio. And so after the show, we go clubbing. And so Clark was on, the radio too with us, and we all be hanging out. And I was going to Union Square, the Rooftop, all these places I wasn't supposed to be at. I was up in there, you know what I'm saying? And I was enjoying KRS-One. I would see KRS-One tear down Union Square. I saw Dougie Fresh in the Rooftop and Rakim in the Rooftop, and Super Lover seeing them in the Rooftop, and Latin Quarter. Man, look, those were the days, and so that's what Clark and I shared with each other. And besides the DJ, and I used to take the train all the way from Mount Vernon to Bed-Stuy just to DJ with him, just to practice. He had all these records in his house, these crates, and he had the perfect DJ setup, and it just felt really good going over there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how far we go back, man. And you know, that really took me out, man.
JJ, before we get Pete out of here, because it's about game time is upon us.
Yep.
He got the Giants and now he got the Yankees, so he's probably got two TVs.
Yep.
TV at his face.
I do. I absolutely do.
Yes.
You got everything for the GOAT before we get him out?
I want to know about him being the coldest DJ. One thing about artists is they always want a cold producer to put out a track. And what I want to know, and everybody listening and hearing this right now, are there any current rappers, new rappers that you want to work with or that you respect in terms of the work that you are putting out? That that you wouldn't mind, working with as well.
Of course, lots of them. From Cole to Kendrick. I know those are the first two MCs certain producers say, but it's just like they're so demandingly dope. So, you know what I mean? I say them first, and then whoever else wants to work with me, I'm willing.
Yeah, I heard it right here.
Like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna get you out of here, brother. I can't thank you enough. Seriously, man. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're extremely busy. Yeah. We both sports heads, but being a kid from the Bronx, grew up listening to you, to having a relationship with you, talking to you, to have you DJ my wedding.
Yes.
Almost forgot how much fun I had at your wedding.
I know, man. I'm forever in debt to you because of that, man. So
thank you, brother.
I got so much love. I love you. I love your work. I love everything you represent.
Yes,
and I know your project is going to get a Grammy. I feel it in my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
So
Pray for me, bro. Pray for me, bro.
I got you in common. You guys put on a masterpiece, and I'm really proud of everything you got going on and who you are. So thank you for being on my show, brother.
And we look forward to seeing who this female is.
Watch. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Woo.